What is cracking, YouTube? Another beautiful day, another beautiful video. And today you already know I had to check in with the Killing Floor 3 fam. And today I'm gonna be talking about the update. I'm just gonna get into it and let y'all know what's up and jump right into it.
It's closed.
So look, I spent a lot of time with KF3 in general. I have like hundreds of hours of the game by this point. Okay. And I think it was a couple days ago. I'll put the exact date in the video, right? They low-key shadow dropped a new update and it had a new map and a bunch of new stuff that we're gonna get into. And you know what? It really surprised me because it shows that Tripwire really cares about their community. And I was really worried because at the time of this recording, not too long before the update was released, they had to do some layouts. I think it was like 20 or 30 people at the studio, which worried me because I was hoping that, you know what I mean, we would still get those updates and the studio wouldn't shut down, because nowadays you never know. Studios be shutting down left and right. Luckily, they did release this update and it has new weapons, a new map, new specialist, which is a new character, and a lot of in-game like fixes, new animations, things like that. They really showed up and they shown out. Okay. And yeah, so I booted this thing up, I was playing it, and there's noticeable differences with a lot of things that they changed and improved on, and I'm gonna get into that. But first, let me just cover some of the stuff that I think that they still need to work on, because there are a few things. Obviously, one thing that I still noticed when I booted this thing up, I'm on base PS5. There's still a little bit of those that micro stuttering. If you've seen any of my other videos, you should, you know what I mean, check that out. I did speak on this numerous times throughout me playing this game, and they did improve it a little bit. Again, I'm on base PS5, but there's still that little bit of micro stuttering usually when I'm starting a new round. Yeah, it's just enough to be noticeable. The movement, to me, is still just slightly off. That could be a nitpick, because that could be me, because I noticed that this game is trying to straddle the fence between arcadey and tactical. Right now, it's still approachable, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't want you zipping and sliding and slipping every damn where, like, you know, like a Call of Duty, for instance, right? It wants you to kind of still consider your movements and use your movements and your things to your advantage carefully. You get what I'm trying to say. No crashes or anything. Everything was smooth. I love the story stuff, okay? And I'm going to get into all the positives and really go in on that. But some of the objectives can be put in some places that are kind of confusing, and then obviously there are some reused assets and things like that when it comes to the story stuff. But I understand, right? Like, they're still able to be creative and to navigate things like that. But yeah, those are some of my nitpicks. They definitely need to fix that performance on base consoles. I was looking online, and I'm not the only one that's having this problem. Apparently, even certain Xbox owners might be having a little bit of that, you know what I mean, the same problems that I'm having. But y'all gotta let me know on that one, right? This freaking update is crazy, because not only did they add new weapons, not only did they add a new map, not only did they add a new specialist, they added a lot of bug fixes. They added new animations. They added like new physics, right? The Zeds stumble when you shoot them and stuff like that. So that was really cool to see. They added one particular bug fix that I had since the beginning of the damn game, where my ninja class, there was like one upgrade I couldn't get for some reason. It was bugged out, locked out. I've had this since the beginning of the game. They finally fixed that. It just feels smoother. So what they did that really impressed me, okay, was they tweaked the whole design of like the Z count. So basically, when you load into the map, what they did was they added more enemies to fight. They gave them less health, and it makes it seem more like a horde shooter, if that makes any sense, right? It's more fun to mow them down, tweak some of the damage. They tweak, you know, so it feels more like a horde shooter and it feels more fun, right? And I've tested this numerous times, and it's crazy because this game is way different from Killing Floor 3 day one. Now, getting into some of the weapons that they added, they did add a trench gun, which is this bomb ass like pump shot shotgun that is really dope, really powerful, fun weapon. They have like the bayonet attachment, which works awesome. The ninja got a new weapon, which is basically like Wolverine claws. I'm gonna put the exact name in the video so you don't think I'm just gonna be out here calling it Wolverine claws. But they got the Wolverine claws, They added some dual sidearms, so we got the dual pistols, the dual bloodhounds, amazing weapons, and then one of the sleeper hit weapons of this update. Okay, this weapon is goated. Like, I discovered this weapon on accident because I was just looking through all the menus and I found them, and I was like, hey, why not try them out? That's going to be the dual crates. Okay, the crate is basically the sidearm for the engineer, and it's like an automatic pistol. So you basically got akimbo SMGs. Okay, and them bitches hit. Okay, they just eat like a fat boy at a buffet. I loaded in with them, tried them out, and they were just amaze balls, right? And I really wanted to get in and like sink my teeth into this update because of, like I said previously, they've added so much. I really wanted to test it out. So I even tested online. And if you know me, you know I'm primarily a solo player, so I'm really out here really trying to sink my teeth into it. And I had fun, bro. A couple random lobbies, couple random games. Had fun, dude. It was just pure chaos in the best ways possible. Literally, when you got a whole 6-man squad, hundreds of Zeds coming at you, you're mowing them down, you're kind of like helping each other out. Everybody got their own skills, their own abilities, their own weapon loadouts. It's just a blast, right? I was really seriously impressed. I know that this video is basically about the update, right? But we really got to just talk and lock in about KF3's future, because I really think that if Tripwire keeps up this trajectory, that Killing Floor 3 is going to be something very, very special, man. And we gotta keep it alive, right? So if you stay with me this far, I need y'all to lock in, not only with me, but with any Killing Floor 3 content creators, and just keep the momentum going, keep the game alive. I really do think when everything is said and done, if they're keeping on the trajectory and the momentum that they are right now, this game is going to be something special, something fun, something worth the money. All these updates are free. I haven't spent a cent since I bought the game. In-game stuff, still haven't spent any money. I bought everything with in-game currency if I did buy it. It's just you pay your money and you get lots of content. And nowadays, that is rare. So we need to hold on to that like nobody's business. All right, we have to keep that shit going, because the gaming space now, all of these big AAA studios and developers and the big wigs, they want to charge you a nickel and dime for everything. So I really applaud Tripwire for not only supporting their community, but giving us all this content absolutely free skis. Okay, all right, we got to lock in on that new map. The new map is basically like a snowed in type of situation. Obviously gonna put the name of the map on the screen for y'all, but it's dope. It's dynamic. You're in the middle of a blizzard in this facility. There's a lot of things to catch your eye, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of storytelling through the visuals, a lot of cool little like features. Like, for instance, the longer you play on the map, I think the more intense the blizzard gets, and you're out there and it gets kind of hectic, man, because you can't really see too much, and you got Zeds running at you from all directions. And it's really cool to see, dynamic features and things like that for the map. And, just doubling back on all the weapons. I think all the weapons are really good. There's really no duds in this batch at all. Like, they all are dope. Come with their own new attachments, come with their own, animations and cool. It's just fire, man. I'm just really impressed that Tripwire could really roll out something of this magnitude, considering that they had to cut down and things like that. And I really hope that those employees find work elsewhere and land on their feet, because it's hard out here. Hold on, YouTube, just 1 second. This is post-production Spritz, and before I end this video out, I forgot to talk about the fact that they added a whole new boss into KF3. I believe it's called the Alpha Scavenger. You basically have to fight it and hit its weak points. Minor spoilers, so if you don't want to know how to beat the boss while you're watching this, then skip ahead. But while you're fighting it, it'll call on minions. You defeat the minions, it'll leave some goop, and the boss can actually heal from the goop. It actually reminded me of old KF2 bosses, where you kind of have to figure out how to actually beat the boss, or like the best way to beat the boss, because they have different phases, different attacks, things like that. The other KF3 bosses are more straightforward, so I did appreciate the attention to detail and the fact that they didn't just recycle a boss where you just shoot it till it dies. You actually have to pay attention to certain mechanics. That boss is no joke. It gets really tough. Another thing that I wanted to touch upon that I didn't touch upon in this video is they did rebalance some of the difficulty. So like I said before, they did redo the scaling of how many Zeds are there, their damage and everything. So they kind of had to shift the difficulties. The difficulty does feel a bit more fair when you take into consideration everything. So I'm glad that they really did their thing on the boss, on the difficulty scale and all that stuff. But yeah, back to the video though. Last thing I really want to touch on, for real, I played Killing Floor 3 and I could finally like look and see a little bit of the full picture I think that Tripwire is going for. And I know a lot of people who are fans of like Killing Floor 1 and 2, they were very upset because Killing Floor 3 is nothing like that. But honestly, I think that's the point. I don't think they were setting out to make Killing Floor 2 all over again, right? I think Killing Floor 3 was always supposed to be its own thing. And if we pay attention, Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 2 were very different, right? Now, they kept certain elements, but essentially, there were two different games, and I think that's the same here with Killing Floor 2 to Killing Floor 3. They are making something that has certain pieces of the previous Killing Floors, but it's different and it's supposed to be different. And I really applaud them for standing on business and not bending knee and trying to just make something over again or to please everybody. Because sometimes when you try to please everybody, you just gonna please nobody at all. I'm really happy to see that they're still out here, still making content that's worth it, that feels good, feels fresh. I really like to see more story stuff. The story stuff is actually really well put together. I really enjoy doing the story missions. I want to see more game modes and things like that. They did also bring back certain little objectives, so when you're playing on the map in certain rounds, you'll have like a little spot where you got to go and hold your ground for a certain amount of time. And I love seeing little things like that because I used to love doing that in KF2. So if they keep on in the way that they're going, man, I'm telling y'all, Killing Floor 3 is just going to be a blast, right? I think it's already a blast. I can't fully recommend it, just because for me, like I said, the optimization on my base PS5 is a little off, but it's almost there. I mean, for $40 getting all this content, and if it goes on sale, and obviously through future updates and them still adding things, this is going to be a no-brainer in no time. But listen, I've been talking a whole lot. You already know. Came here to talk y'all ear off, and I think I succeeded. So y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about Killing Floor 3, how y'all feel about the Killing Floor 3 update, how y'all feel about Killing Floor 3's future, basically anything Killing Floor 3. Anything I missed, anything you want to know, anything at all. You already know. Leave that comment, and like I said, support the Killing Floor 3 community, support the content creators out there. That's all I really got to say for y'all. Until the next video, y'all stay locked in. Man, you already know who it is. Spritz2Live. Thank y'all for watching, and just like that, I'm gone. Peace.